Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I did not plan on filming. Honestly, this is something super raw and it kind of has been something that I've wanted to film for a while, and I honestly just didn't think I was ever going to post it. Just because it's pretty personal for me and it makes me a little bit more vulnerable than I'd like to be. But I feel like it will honestly help somebody out there, like all of your guys' sweet words on my last videos about being transgendered. I just feel like my channel has grown a lot and I feel like I've become a lot more visible here on YouTube about being transgendered, and there has been some hate and some backlash, but there's also been so much positive, and the positive outweighs the negative by it's crazy. It's honestly crazy the amount of love that you guys show me. I guess I just want to keep giving you guys the most real and like raw version of me that I can possibly give you guys. So that is why I am sitting here filming this video today, and I'm honestly a little bit anxious about it. Feelings that I have are not as like new as they were a couple days ago. Like if I were to have filmed this on Sunday or Monday, I would have been a little bit more like less put together than I am right now. But I wanted to let you guys know things I hate about being transgendered. It's just simple as that, like just the honest truth of things that I hate about being transgendered. And I have like a little bit of like notes on my phone because I felt like my brain was going to be a little bit like crazy while I was filming this, being so anxious about filming it and all of that I just didn't want to miss anything, so I decided to write things down in my notes. So if you guys see me kind of looking down, it's just kind of giving me like my vantage points that I wanted to talk about and not forget anything, because I feel like sometimes that'll happen. I'll film a video and then about like, I don't know, 20 minutes after I'll be like, oh no, like I probably should have said that and I should have said that, or I should have said this instead. I also want to just give you guys this little like lowdown before. I am not asking for pity, not at all. Like that is not the reason I am uploading this video. I do not want anyone to feel bad for me, because I just don't. I just want to share my story with you guys and my experience, my trans experience with you guys, because I feel like everybody's is different and my insecurities and my strengths and weaknesses are going to be different from anybody's. So I just wanted to share like some of the things that have been bothering me lately. The first topic that I want to talk about is the whole constant people staring. So in the beginning of my transition, I was stared at a lot. Obviously, I did go out with a full-fledged beard on, and it drew a lot of attention. And I mean, obviously that was kind of my own fault as I kept the facial hair and kind of just rocked it. But obviously that is going to bring some stares when you're rocking like a blackout smoky eye, like beautiful lashes, like long hair, and then a beard. It's just one of those things that kind of just draws attention. But I feel like as I've transitioned from then to now, I used to be like, oh, like what are people staring at me for? Well, I kind of knew back then like what people were staring at me before, but then like as soon as I shaved my face and started going like full time, I guess you could say, I was so anxious. I was like, every time I left the house, I was really anxious. I was like, are people staring at me because they can tell? What are they staring at me for? And it just honestly was it gave me so much anxiety and social anxiety that I didn't really want to go anywhere. I didn't really want to do anything, and I kind of just like to like crawl back into my shell and kind of just stay to myself. But I quickly have gotten over that, and like right now today, if I'm like walking out somewhere or I'm in public and like people are like staring or like someone is looking, I'm assuming they're looking because either like they like my outfit or they like my makeup, or like some guy thinks I'm attractive. Like that is what I think of. Like I don't have as much of the social anxiety as I used to, but that was a really huge part in my transition. And I mean, still to this day, I do have some days where I will go out where I'm not as put together as I normally am. Like right now, like I'm sitting on camera, super glam, like lashes. My hair isn't done, but like just like super glam, lashes, cute outfit and all of that. But like some days I'll go out with like t-shirt and like just foundation on, and I'm like, because I'm not overly feminizing myself today, am I getting clocked, or people looking at me? Like, what is the reasoning? So I still struggle with it sometimes, and I know that a lot of people out there who are transitioning still struggle with that too, because I think passing is a huge part of being transgendered, and some people can pass and some people think that they can pass, and they do, they don't. I mean, it all honestly depends on a lot of things, but I am very public on the internet, and a lot of people in my area do know who I am, even if I don't know them, or like people have heard of me or know of me through the grapevine and all of that. So like, I don't really, honestly, I don't care who can tell anymore. It just like doesn't really bother me. If I'm 100% comfortable in my own skin, then like I'm really honestly less worried about like other people. So it is something I do struggle with still, but honestly it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be really bad. I didn't want to leave my house. So there's that. Let's move on to the topic of dating, and this is honestly a sensitive subject for me. Like right now-ish. So dating in general. So the world has turned into an online dating central. So people rarely meet people in person anymore, like through like a friend or at a coffee shop or anything. Like people rarely approach people anymore because it's so much easier to just be like, oh, I saw you out at a bar tonight, like you're so hot, or like liking someone's pictures on Facebook until they message you, or just something. I just feel like we're in such a digital world that dating has become so less serious and so casual that it's kind of crazy. But again, I've always told all of my friends this, and I mean this 150%. I am an old soul. I honestly just feel like I should have been born in like the 1920s. I feel like I want chivalry. Like, I mean, someone to hold the door open. I mean, someone to plan cute dates. Like, I don't know, like what happened to calling someone beautiful instead of sexy or hot, or you know what I mean? Like what happened to all of that? Like it just has disappeared in the world of like the digital dating, because now behind a computer screen someone is so ballsy to say honestly whatever they want to say. Like you guys know from my like reading my Tinder messages video, like people are so ballsy behind like the phone, but when it comes to like seeing you in person, like they're not going to approach you in that way. But like again, the digital world that we live in, dating has become so just casual. We live in a digital world, so these guys like put on this front on the internet and whatever, but like obviously I was talking to a bunch of my friends, and cisgender women say that they get the same responses from these men. The part that I hate about being transgendered is the way that men speak to us in comparison to cisgendered women. So on a dating app, it will clearly say that I am looking for a relationship or whatever, and some guy will message me and be like, hey sexy, and it's just like, okay, like whatever, like that's not a big deal. And then I'm like, oh, like what's up or whatever. And the conversations are always strictly sexual. And I think that a big part of that has to do with, I hate to say it, but like porn, like it makes the whole transgendered thing be so overly sexualized that is how men treat us in like a dating pool. And it's so difficult because to most men, we're like a fantasy, and we're not viewed as real women, and that is something that sucks, because I am the type of girl that is looking for like that American dream, like husband, wife, like 2 kids, a dog, a white picket fence, and all of that. And I think that in this day and age, it's so hard for and I'm not saying that it's impossible, I'm just saying that it's so hard to find someone looking for something serious and also wanting to be with someone who is transgender. Like, it's just very far and few between, because it's just the conversations always turn sexual. Like, I could be having like a nice conversation with someone, and then they'll read my profile and they'll see that I'm transgendered, and it just like immediately, like a flip of the switch, the conversation turns sexual. And it's just, it's tiring. Like, I guess it's old news. And I'm not saying that this happens all the time or any of that. Like, I'm just saying that in general, like, I have noticed from my experiences on the dating prowl that a lot of the times it just turns strictly sexual, and it kind of like throws the idea of like taking you out on a date, like you're not good enough for a date, or you're only good enough behind closed doors. But other than that, that's pretty much all that they want. But then like there's also the other aspect of the tranny chasers, like the people that certainly like search out transgendered women and want to like not date them, but want to just like, it's just like a thing for them. And I'm not trying to knock people who are like that, because I guess everyone has their own things that they're into. But when you start treating a person as an object, then that is where the problem sets in. Men just objectifying trans women, and I'm not saying that they don't objectify cisgendered women. I'm just saying that the majority of the time men objectify trans women in an instant. It's just how the nature, it's just the nature of the beast and how it is in society. I mean, I wish that I didn't have to tell people, or I wish that it was never even a thing. Like, I honestly wish that I never had to, like, deal with that or have to, like, constantly, it's like, it's every time you start talking to someone new, you like kind of hit it off a little bit, like in like the messages, and then they like read your profile, so you're transgender. I'm upfront about everything, and it is on all of my dating sites, and it is just, I'm very public with my life. Like, I tell so many people on the internet, thousands of people on the internet about my life, so it's not something that I'm ashamed of or anything like that. I'm just saying that, like, I just get nervous if people read it or how they're going to react. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that really hits home, and it's something that has really been bothering me the past week. And it's something that has always bothered me, but it is my biggest fear, but it's never something that has ever come to light. I don't mean any tea or shade any of the parties involved. I just want to express my feelings about it. So recently I had been dating, I guess you could say, this guy, and I was really honestly into him. It's nice because usually I will date people who have issues, I guess you could say, people who have been married, or people who have kids, or people who have been into drugs, or whatever the case may be. Usually I date people like that because, like, they're so broken, and, like, in a way, like, I know that this sounds so terrible, but in a way, like, they just don't deserve me. So I go for people like them because I know that I have the power to cut it off, and then, like, you know what I mean? I'm the one with, like, the upper hand, I guess you could say, or I'm the one who's, like, just one step higher than them. I don't know. It's such a terrible way to view it, but, like, I'm just trying to express, like, my opinion about it. So this guy was really good. Great job. Just, like, good head on his shoulders, and, like, had goals in life, and his goals were, like, he wanted to get married and have kids eventually, and that is just, like, I feel like it's so rare to find nowadays people who want those things out of life. I just think that right now it's just, like, a big party game for people, and people are just living their lives, which is fine. Like, I have been there, I've done that, I'm still doing it, but I'm just saying that, like, it is nice to know that someone was interested in, like, settling down one day. So I had been on a couple dates with this guy, and honestly, I had never felt like such, like, a connection with somebody before, and, like, there was a lot of chemistry, I feel like, and he was really into me also, and then it all came to a crashing halt. I mean, he knew that I was transgendered from the get-go. Like, from the beginning, I want to just preface that he knew from the beginning that I was transgendered. So the reason that he, it's, like, so hard to talk about. So the reason that he broke things off was because he wants to be able to have a family one day. And since I don't have my own ovaries and I cannot produce my own biological child, he didn't want to pursue and see things further with me. And I just think that that's super unfair, and I can't argue with his point of view because honestly that is his feeling towards the situation, and I respect them completely, but I just feel like, I guess my problem with it is throwing, like, a connection away with someone just because of that. I mean, there's a lot of cisgendered women out there who can't have kids. I mean, it's how it is. Like, some of them have had ovarian cancer, or have had to have their ovaries removed, or just cannot have kids. Like, it's a thing that happens. And I just think that it was quite unfair that he kind of just threw that to the wayside after a couple dates, especially because, I mean, he was a little bit older, so I see that he is interested in settling down sooner than later, and, like, that is fine, and I just think that it was quite unfair to throw away such a connection based off the fact that I can't biologically have my own kids. But there are so many other options with surrogacy and adoption. There's so many options out there now where science has gotten so far in the world that it's just something that isn't really as much of a problem as it used to be. But that is, and all of my friends know that my biggest thing about being transgendered, if I could pick anything, if I could pick one thing about being transgender that I hate the most, it is not being able to have my own kids. It's something that I struggle with all the time, and something that it's something I don't know if I will ever come to terms with. it's just the nature of the beast. Like I said, I feel like everything about my situation I can change. I mean, having surgeries and this and that, like everything about my situation I can change, but that is the one thing that I can't change, and it's the one thing that I wish I could. But I just think that it kind of really hit home for me when that was the reason that he had wanted to not see each other anymore. So, I mean, it is what it is, and I'm doing better now than I was before, but it was like kind of upsetting because that is my biggest fear, that one day someone is not going to want to be with me because I can't produce my own kids, and my fear came true. But it's one of those things you kind of just pick up the pieces and you just move on. It's just one of those things in life that, I mean, there's plenty of fish in the sea, literally plenty of fish. Sponsor me? I'm kidding. With all the dating videos I do? Are you kidding me? They should sponsor me. I didn't want this to be a depressing, like, sad video. I just wanted you guys to know some of the things that I just don't like about being transgendered. Like, the reason that I made this video, the whole reason I made this video is because I really wanted to talk about the whole pregnancy thing and not being able to. And I know that there's a lot of trans people who watch my videos, and I just want to know what you guys feel about it. Like, what do you guys think? Is it something that really hits home for you guys? Because I know that there's a lot of even cisgendered women that don't have that motherly instinct or have that instinct to want to get married and have kids and all of that. Like, some people are like, okay if that never happens for them. But I've always been the type of girl that, like, has always, I guess, had that motherly instinct and has always wanted to have that marriage life and the kids and the dog and the white picket fence and just all of that. That's just something that I have always wanted, and I feel like that's why I put so much energy into when I meet someone that I like, because I am looking for, like, to eventually marry someone, obviously. And I feel like I'm only getting older, but I am only 23. I'm going to be 24 next month. Do not remind me, but it's just one of those things. You just kind of have to move on with your life and kind of come to terms with it. And I know that there are a lot of cisgendered women out there who have had really tough times coming to terms with not being able to have children, and it's a really hard thing to deal with. But, you know, like I said, I will eventually have my own kids one day, no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter. I will have them. And the person that I am meant to be with will be along for the ride and the journey with all of that. So guys, that's all that I have for today's video. Like I said, I don't want any pity. Not at all. I just want to know what your guys' feelings, if you are transgendered, what are some of your insecurities or some of the things about being transgendered that you guys hate. And it's okay. Like, this doesn't mean that I hate myself or I hate being transgendered as a whole. These are just some of the things that I've had to deal with throughout my transitioning and my trans life that I wish I could change, or some of the things that upset me about being transgendered. But I am proud of who I am, and I don't want you guys to ever not be. I want you guys to hold your head up high no matter what. I know this is a scary world that we live in, and a lot of people are being oppressed, and I don't want you guys to feel that you are any less than anybody else out there. No matter what your situation is, we are all equal. We all eat the same, we all drink the same, and we all use the restroom. So we are all people, and I don't want you guys to think because of your situation that you are any less than anybody else in this whole entire world. So just take away that from this video and just know that I love you guys despite your situation. And if you guys ever need anyone to talk to about anything, because honestly there are times when I need people to talk to, and I have my friends for that, and some people out there don't have close friends enough to talk to, or even a stranger. So I'm always here for you guys. You guys know that. My email is in the description down below, as always. I know that it says for business, but if it's honestly something that really is bothering you, obviously email me. I try to get back to as many of you guys as I can, but sometimes it's honestly impossible. But like I said, I will try my very level best to get back to everybody. But I love you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe. The button is down there, and give this video a thumbs up if you guys want to see more trans-related videos. I like that I have been doing a lot more of these. I feel like it's been drawing a different crowd here to my channel, and I'm really happy to see some of my trans sisters and brothers out there coming forth. Honestly, nice to see other trans people out there. Like, it's just such a, like, warm community. I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys all in my next video.